Well, good morning, YouTube. All right, it is the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and all of the family that came to visit has gone away. So Talon and I decided to get back to work on Project Kenworth. Now, in the last video you saw, we had an issue with not being able to get the rear end swapped out, and that has not been completely resolved yet. But nevertheless, we want to get back to work on this. So today, I think we're going to go ahead and pull off the wet system. As you can see right behind Talon there is a hydraulic storage tank, so that this truck could run power equipment like dump trailers and so on and so forth. And we're not going to need that, at least not starting out. So for the moment, we're going to go ahead and remove it from the truck. One, because it needs to be taken off to do the paint job properly anyways, and they will make the decision later on whether or not we reuse that. But we're also going to go ahead and pull off the air lines and the trailer lines and start getting rid of some of the stuff that's going to be in the way to do the paint job. And then we're going to try to clean up that other rear end housing so that we can get it put back in here while we're waiting for the second drive to be rebuilt. But first, we need tools. So I'm going to go fire up Goliath, get him moved over here. That way we've got access to the tools and we can get started. Well, guys, you probably didn't see that on the time lapse, but while Talon was disconnecting the air lines and getting the actual hydraulic tank unbolted, I was disconnecting the lines where it meets with the PTO. Now, PTO is the power takeoff unit. It's what actually pumps the fluid. Well, not exactly. The PTO drives the pump that pumps the fluid from the tank to the device. Obviously wouldn't have a device hooked up, but if you had something like right here, there's a Mack dump trailer behind me. So the hydraulic fluid would lift that piston up to raise the trailer to be able to dump whatever aggregate or whatnot was in the trailer. Now, while I was down there disconnecting the lines, I knew that fluid was going to run out of the tank. So I took my really big 15-gallon drain pan down there with me. And as I cracked the lines open, the fluid started running in there. When it slowed down a little bit, I took the line the rest of the way off, and of course it started pouring out and filling the drain pan. Well, apparently there was a little bit more than 15 gallons in it, so we made a mess. So there's the drain pan, and you can see it is absolutely full and actually overflowing at the moment. But that's just a small part. The other side is way worse. Yes, we have a lake of hydraulic oil. Now you can see we dammed it up with what Speedy Dry I have here to stop it from running out through the parking lot. So while I was doing this, Talon ran to the house to grab more Speedy Dry and a shovel and some buckets. So now we got a mess on our hands we got to clean up. Yeah, so we definitely misjudged that one. So anyway, we accomplished our goal. We got the PTO most of the way off. There's one more line we need to pull out that's just bolted to the frame, but it's already disconnected at the pump. But we got to focus on cleaning up the mess first. You know, I hate making messes with oil. I really do. So we have to get to this. Well, guys, we had a heck of a time getting that mess cleaned up, and it's not completely cleaned up, but it's 5 o'clock. It's starting to get dark outside, and it's getting really cold. So Talon and I decided to call it quits for the night, and we're gonna go back and finish it up tomorrow. So I'm filthy, covered with oil, from being under the truck and trying to clean up that mess. I'm gonna jump in the shower and we'll catch up with you guys in the morning. All right, guys, we're back up at the trucks. And last night before we left, we put a bunch of oil dry down to soak up what we couldn't get up last night. So we used a bunch of oil dry on it first. We absorbed the bulk of the liquid, but the stain was still there. So then we sprinkled another light coat of oil dry on it, let it sit overnight, and a lot of it had absorbed into the oil dry here this morning. So Talon and I went to Advanced Auto Parts and we grabbed 3 more bags of oil dry, and we're gonna try to get it cleaned up even better. Guys, and while we were waiting for the oil dry to absorb some of the oil, I keep walking around just kind of grinding it in with my feet. But we're not going to just sit here and watch oil dry absorb. So Talon and I are taking apart other things in the truck that are going to have to come off in order to do the paint job anyways. So you can see Talon's up there removing the utility lights. He's also already pulled off the crossbars, which are right here. Pulled off the little mud flap pieces that go on the front of the fenders. Took off the rear mud flaps, just all that stuff that's got to come off to do the paint job properly. I think we're also going to pull off the exhaust pipes. We can take out the supports right here for the exhaust. It's not really a headache rack, but I guess it's kind of a headache rack, and that'll make things easier to get in there and paint as well. Go ahead and pull off these little wings on the bunk extenders. I'm working on pulling off the logos, maybe even pulling out the headlights and stuff. I'm not sure about that just yet because we may have to move the truck for paint work, but we go ahead and take off the bug deflector, the Kenworth logo, so on and so forth. Right? Guys, and as I'm trying to pull these Kenworth logos off, and I saw the rivets here in the front, I was hoping that they'd just be nuts on the back, but they're not. There's a weird type of huck rivet there. If you look close, well, I can't focus, almost looks like it was threaded inside, but as you can see, I gripped that one and tried to spin it off, and it doesn't work. It's just spinning the whole thing, so I'm going to have to drill those rivets out. All right, one down, one to go. Kind of a pain in the butt to drill those out because the heads on them are very rounded, but they are a soft aluminum, so once you get the drill bit started in the right place, it'll waller it a little bit, but it worked. All right, guys, and these cat truck engine ones on here, just glued on, so little 3-in-1 scraper seems to be doing the trick there to get them off. Nice and easy. Okay, guys, next we're going to take out this expanded metal grill that someone had put in here in a very terrible manner. Look, they even put washers on the outside of these, so they pulled right into the fiberglass. You see we got a break down there that's got to be fixed. But with this grill out of the way, it will make it easier to get things like the handle logo off and the bug deflector, because it'll be easier to reach those bolts rather than having to reach around the whole hood. But I'm gonna need Talon's help because I can't do this out here and hold the nut on the inside at the same time. So we're gonna have to put this hood down and Talon can reach in there. Now this grill will not be going back in this truck. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but it will definitely not be this grill. All right, guys, now the bug deflector is off of it. And you see what I did here? So put all the nuts and bolts back in it where they came out, because I really don't know how long it's going to be until we put this back together. And sometimes it's difficult to remember what goes where. Now, we can't always do this, and when I can't, I'll use Ziploc bags and masking tape or something like that to label specific items. So try to minimize the amount of time that it takes to reassemble, trying to figure out what goes where. Well, guys, it is almost 5 o'clock. As you can see, the sun is on its way down and it's starting to get cold again. So I think we're gonna start calling it quits here pretty soon. Gonna clean up our tools and get these parts that we've taken off stored away. But let me show you what we've got done. Okay, I got the bumper stripped off of it, the grill, headlight surrounds. I did leave the logo on there only because this hood is very difficult to raise and lower, so I wanted to keep that handle there. It's only held on by 2 bolts, so when it comes time to paint, we can pull that off real easy. Debadged. I was not able to get this piece out just yet because I can't get to the nuts on the back side without having to take a whole bunch of other stuff apart. Didn't want to start that this late in the day. But Zach ended up showing up and helping out. He's peeling that sticker of a deer off over there. And then back here we got the stacks off of it, the headache rack completely gone, all the grab handles, all the stuff I showed you earlier. So making progress, definitely making progress. So there's the headache rack, the mud flaps. Those are those little rubber extenders for the bunk extenders. Visor, stacks, and of course all these other pieces here. The lighting, headlight bezels, so on and so forth. All right, guys, and here's the front bumper cover. This thing's just a flimsy piece of plastic rubber. I don't think we're gonna keep it for long. For right now, we're probably gonna have to put it back on. But you see there's a lot of damage to it that's been repaired before. So we probably won't waste a lot of time prepping this. Just gonna shoot it white and throw it back on there because the plan would be to put a real metal bumper on it at some point. All right, guys, so we still have the cab to work with. You know, still gonna do the mirrors, these grab handles here, door handles. Probably gonna pull off the visor and the lights up there. Just not gonna get done today. Project for another day because we're running out of time. So I think now we're gonna clean up and get ready to head back to the house because it is Sunday and we always do Sunday dinner at the house. So we are gonna go eat some dinner with the family. So guys, we're gonna end this one right here. I wanna thank you guys for watching. And until the next time I see you, guys keep those engines running.